Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Daniel. Today we'll build a countdown timer. Here you see we displayed some text here. Okay, after that we see our actual time, Friday, weekday name and date and month name, later year, later hours, minutes and second. At this point our countdown timer will be completed. Okay, for that we have 3 days, 19 hours, 27 seconds, 27 minutes and some seconds. Now you see, this is I made responsive. Let's see how it looks on smaller devices. When we reach some point, this is how it will become. Okay. And finally, here you can see we can close this component. I mean, this kind of things we don't see on regular websites. When we have some festival offers or new year offers, that time we'll see this type of sales, computer sales or whatever. So what we need to do, we need to allow the user to close this advertisement. So once the user clicks on this button, this will be disappeared. Just reload it. This is the project and let's go and build this one. I'm in Visual Studio Code Editor. I have 3 files, index.html, style.css and app.js, and I have an image, computer monitor image. First we will write HTML. Go to HTML file here, exclamation mark and hit enter. Change title, link CSS file, that is style.css. Finally link JavaScript file. Here I'll create a comment. Ctrl/ to create a comment. Our JavaScript file is app.js. Now inside body tag, first we'll create a main container. For that I'll use div with class name container. Inside this container we'll create a section with class name new sale section. Inside this we'll create a button to close this section. Button with ID close button. The text is just simple X letter. Okay, I'm not using any icons. After this we'll create 2 main divs. One for image container. Inside this we'll have image with the ID computer image and source is also computer image name, alternate text computer. After this div we'll create another div for our title and timer and for description. So I'll name this div a class name title timer description container. Inside this we'll have a paragraph for our title with ID title, some text, ends on. Here we'll place day name, month name and year and hours, minutes, seconds from JavaScript. After this on. Now later we'll create a timer. For that I'll use another div and give class name time. Inside this div we'll have each div for holding days, one for hours, one for minutes, one for seconds. Div. Here I'm not giving any class name or ID name. This div contains one paragraph tag with ID days. Here we'll place some placeholder text for now. That means 9 days left, and we'll create another span saying days. Like this we need another 3 divs. Now here if I want to access this div, I'll use this time space div means this one, first child. Later if I want to access paragraph or span, time space div, this one, space p, that means I can access this one. Or else if I want to access span, time space div space span, then I can access this span to style our elements. To access inside JavaScript, I already given ID for this paragraph. This is the only one we need. This is the only thing we need in JavaScript. And these ones we need in only CSS. I am not giving class names because it's going to be too much. That's why I'm not giving. Okay, we need another 3 to hold hours, minutes and seconds. And we don't need to see this head tag. I'll close this one. Now another div. Inside this div we have a paragraph and we give hours, and here write 13 hours because it is 24 hours format, and later a span with text hours. Later another div for minutes, and it has a paragraph with minutes ID, and here we'll write 56 minutes. This is just random text. Okay, later a span with text mins. Okay, minutes. Finally we need one more one for seconds, div p with ID seconds, and here write some seconds 23. Later a span with secs. After this div, that means this time we need one more to display the text. Okay, here it ends. Later this one will create another paragraph for a description. Here we'll place some random text, lorem 20 words, save it, and this is our markup. Now I'm using live server. To open with live server, here right click and open. See, this is an image, and later first we have button, image, later we have this all these paragraphs and divs. Okay, now we'll style our page. Go to editor, right click here to split the window and split right. Here select your CSS file, or you can drag it from here to here. Okay, now close this file window, Control B. Now first I'll give some basic styles. First we'll style our container, this one, main container. It is a class, so use dot. We'll give some max width 1400 pixels, margin top and bottom 0, left and right auto. Save this one and let's go and check. This is the margin we have, left and right also. Now go back to editor. Now we'll style this new sales section, this one. First we'll give some background color, bisque. Later we'll give padding all sides, 15 pixels. Later we'll display this as a flex and flex direction row. This is by default, it's row, whether you specify it or not, but I'm doing it for clarity. Now save this one, let's go and check. See, one container is for image, remaining is our title and timer and description. This is another one, and we have here, you can see this button. Okay, we don't want to position this one here. Now go back to editor. First we'll change the button position, because in this new cell container, we only want two columns, one for image, one for description and timer and title. Okay, first we'll remove this button. How to do that? Just select the button. Here is the ID, close button. Okay, it is inside this new cell container. It is ID, so use hash close button, and position absolute. Okay, then this is not in regular order. See, these are all position static. That's why they are positioned how we write inside our code, the way they appear on the page. But once you change the position to absolute, this is not in this order. Okay, it is above, it will be drawn above all this. Okay, in order to work this relative to its parent also we should give position non-static. It can be anything, relative, absolute, even absolute, or fixed, whatever. I'm using just relative. Now this is going to be positioned relative to this parent. Okay, and we can say from top 5 pixels it should be drawn, and from right 5 pixels it should be drawn, and we give width 25 pixels, height 25 pixels. Okay, I want to make this button as a circle. For that we should give height and width same value. This is height. Okay, height and width should be same. Then we can circle this one. I mean, we can make this button as a circle. Okay, save this one first. Let's go and check. See, its position here. Now this is not a flex item. Now, okay, in this flex container we only have two divs. Okay, I'll show you which ones. One is this one, main child. Okay, another one is this one. These two are inside image container and this title, timer, description container. These two are child elements of this new sales section, and we made this new sales section as a flex, and it is row. That means these two are occupied two columns. Okay, this button is removed from this and positioned as absolute. Okay, this is not going to be counted as a flex column. Now coming back to our button, we need to circle this one. For that, border radius give 50%. That's it. It's going to be circle, look like a circle. See, it is looking like a circle. Now this is like button. We remove that with border none. Now you can see it's on flat on our page. See, now we give text font size 20 pixels and text transform uppercase, color of the text full white, and background color dark gray. Let's go and check this one now. See, it looks like a circle, this button. Now whenever we click on this button, this should be disabled. That will do from JavaScript. And here I want to do one more thing. We'll give bold this text. We can see it even clearly. Font weight bold. Okay, now let's go and check. See, this is how it looks, our button. Later we'll add code from JavaScript. Now in a flex container, that means new sales section, it is a flex container. We have two columns, one for image, one for this text, title and timer. Now we'll give some gap to these two columns. For that, go to here, flex container, and give column gap 20 pixels. Let's go and check. See, we have some gap here. Now we have image here. It has some fixed width. We don't want that. We'll reduce that one. Go to editor where it is. This is image container. Inside this image container, we have image with ID computer image. Okay. First, we'll write code for image container and image container. I don't have anything to write for now. Maybe later I'll write. Now we'll select our image with ID computer image. Okay, now go back to browser. I'll tell you one thing. Here you see it has some fixed width. That means it is a 650 pixels, something like that. So we will change that one to responsive. We do that. Responsive means whatever its parent size, it will be stretched or shrinked if it is small parent. Okay, for that use width and 100%. Now you see whatever the parent size is, see it becomes small, because what happened, flex container has two columns. Flex decided that this column is bigger. Okay, that's why it gave this much space, and it gave this much space to this column. Okay, that is automatically done by flex container. Whatever it is not important for our project to be a small column. But when we shrink this one, what will happen? See, our image is getting smaller. Okay, like that. We don't want that. We will give min width. That means it should not shrink lesser than given value, min width. I'll give 400 pixels. After that, it should not shrink. Once you say 100%, it will shrink. But once you give min width, it will not shrink lesser than 400 pixels. Now let's go and check. See, now we reached 400 pixels. Now flex container is shrinking this column. Okay, that's what we want actually. At some point, what we'll do, we will change its orientation. That means this is horizontal line, these two are one column and another column. Later we'll change it to vertical. This is on top, this is it below. Okay, first what we'll do, we will style this title, description and timer. Let's go back to editor here. Now where we are here, okay, title, we are here. You see title, timer, description, container. We'll style this one. Now what we'll do, we'll make this as a flex container. Display flex. Now we'll change its orientation, flex direction, this time column. Okay, column. Let's go and check. See, we don't see much, but we'll see in a minute. Now flex containers have main axis and cross axis. It depends upon how you declare this flex direction. If you declare flex direction column, that is your main axis. If you declare your flex direction row, that is your main axis. Perpendicular to that main axis is cross axis. Okay, now we must know this thing, because few properties are there, they work only on main axis. For example, justify content works on main axis. What is our main axis? Column. Column is vertical line. Space between is a value. Okay, what it will do, one item it will push to start, another to end, remaining item will take equal space. Now save this one. Let's go and check. See, still we don't see much. We'll see in a minute. Okay, later justify content works on main axis and align items works on cross axis. Okay, center, that means it centers on cross axis. See, we have seen some little difference now. Now what we'll do, we will style this title. Okay, this is a title where we are here, this one, title, timer, description. Now we'll style this title. Okay, it is a ID, so use hash symbol, title, font size 35 pixels and font weight bold, and letter spacing 2 pixels, and that's it for now. Let's go and check. See, this is how it looks. Okay, here one thing I want to add here, this container. Okay, here I'll give some row gap 20 pixels. Let's go and check. See, we get some space here because these are aligned one on top, another one. Okay, Now go back to editor, and later that's it for this title. Now we'll style. After this title we have time. This time contains again 4 divs, one for day, one for hour, one for minute, one for second. Okay. Now select time, which is a class. Okay, and will display as flex. Now this time flex direction row. Save this one. Let's go and check. See, they are aligned next to each other on a horizontal line because we said flex direction row. Now we give some gap, column gap, 15 pixels, something like that. Let's go and check. See, now we'll style each div. Okay, this is div, this is div, this is div, this is div, right? We'll style each div. In order to select, I did not give any class name. Okay, any class name. This one, this div, and this div. This ones I don't give any class name. I'll access with this time div. Okay, and give background color black, color white, and padding all sides 15 pixels, font size 32 pixels. We'll change if we want to, and let's go and check. See, this is how they look. You see, inside this div we have one paragraph and one span. We can align this to center with the text align. Not only text, we can align items also, I mean elements also, if we can center. Okay, now see, they are centered inside their parent. Now I don't give font size here. Okay, we'll remove this one here. We'll select each paragraph and span. There we'll decide what size it should be. Okay, for now we'll leave it like this. And finally, one more thing I want to give: border radius. Border radius 7 pixels. See, this is how they look. Now we'll select paragraph and span. For that, where they are, this is paragraph, this is span. It is inside div. These divs are inside time. Okay, time div p, and font size 32 pixels. Font weight bold, and letter spacing 2 pixels, and line height 1.6. Okay, that is style. Okay, this is how they look. Now we'll style these spans. Again select from time div span, and text transform uppercase, and font size 25 pixels, and letter spacing 2 pixels. That's it for now. Let's go and check. See, this is how they look. This is too much, I guess. We'll reduce the size. 22. Here also 1 pixel. That's enough, I think. Yeah, this is looks okay to me. Okay, now finally we'll style this description. Where it is? The description is here. Okay, with the ID description. And text align justify, line height 1.5, and font size 20 pixels. That's it for now. Let's go and check. See, this is how it looks. Now let's see on bigger screens. This is how it looks. On smaller screens, when we reach some point, it is getting, see, this is how it becomes. So we'll write a media query maybe at this point or this point. We should change its orientation. That means we'll change its direction from row to column. Which one? Let's see where these two images are. Inside this new sale section. Okay, its direction now is by default row. We'll change it to column. And here I took max width 1500. From there it is getting little clumsy. So here we'll select new sale section and flex direction column, and we'll give some row gap for each column. Row gap 20 pixels. Let's go and check. Now once we reach 1150 max width, it will change its orientation. See, this is how it changes. Okay. Now this image is big. If you want to, you can change, but I think I'll leave it like this. On bigger screens, see this big, this image is at this point. Okay, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, this is how it looks on mobile. Here is the problem. You see, our button is overlapping on our image. Okay, we need to fix that one. For that, what I'll do, I'll solve this with padding. Okay, padding all sides 25 pixels. For now, that is a simple solution I found. Okay, this is how it looks. It is still close, or else we can reduce the image size when we reach 1150. Okay, we'll do that. Take image and image container also. I'll tell you why. First we'll take image. Image is computer image, and we reach 1150. Its width should occupy 80% of its parent, like this. Then what will happen? Save it and let's go and check. See, this is how it looks, but it is this side. Okay, then I told you already, in a parent, not only text, we can align items also with text align. What is its parent? Its parent is image container. It is a class, image container. Text align center. That will solve the problem. Let's go and check. See, this is how it looks on small screens. Okay, and I think we don't need to give this much padding, which we gave to solve the problem. Here, padding. I'll remove this one. Now let's go and check. On smaller devices, it looks like this. On bigger devices, it looks like this. Okay, that's about styling this component. Now we will add JavaScript functionality to this page. We'll show this timer here and day name, that means weekday name, month name, and year and hours, minutes, seconds here in this title. Okay, first we'll do this timer thing. Okay, later we'll come and do this title thing. Okay, go to editor. Here I made a mistake. Close button here. The height should be 25, but I gave 24. Now I changed it. Okay, save it. Now open JavaScript file. Simply drag this one. Now I'll drag this little bit. First, what we need to select? We need to select this new sale container. This one, close button. Later, we don't need all this. We need days, hours, minutes, seconds, paragraph tags. We'll access all these elements in JavaScript. I need more space here. I'll drag it here like this. Okay. Now we have accessed all elements we required. Here, new cell selection and close button. Title also we need. Day element. Days we gave days element like this because I want to use day, hours, minutes many times. So for elements I gave element as a suffix. Okay. Now first I'll write a function. Inside that function I'll write everything else. Display time. And we'll call this function. First, I want to talk about two operators. For that, I'll use console.log. Here, if we divide 9, if we want to divide, we use this symbol. With 2, okay, we'll get quotient, okay. If we want to get the quotient, we use slash symbol. Let's go and check. Console. See 4.5. Okay. This means how many twos can fit inside 9 is 4. Remaining is fraction part. We don't care about this fraction part. Now, to remove this fraction part, we use math.floor. It will round to the nearest integer. Now, let's go and check. 4 twos can fit inside 9. Okay. This is a quotient. Now, if we want remainder, we use percentage symbol. Okay. To get remainder, we use percentage symbol. When we divide 9 by 2, that means the remainder is 1. Okay. Remainder is going to be 1. If we don't use fractions, we get 1 as a reminder. Okay. Now, these two are very important operators for our program. I'm removing this one. Later, here, we'll create a data object. For that, constant current date. Now, use new date constructor function. This will return a data object. Now, I will reduce this size screen like this. Okay. Now you see this, whenever you use new, this date function will return a date object. Now I will print this one. It will print current date, present date. Let's go and check. See, date Monday. Today is actually Monday, March 21st. I am recording this one. Later year, later hours, minutes, seconds. This is how we get date. Now, I'll create another variable. Future date. Here, in this date function constructor, we can pass year. Month is 0 index. That means 0 is January and 11 is December. Okay. It starts from 0. Then month, that means March is 2nd. And date 25th I selected. And hours 10. And 30 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay. Now, if we print this one, this will show that 25th of March. Okay. Future date. Now let's go and check. See, this is Friday. 25th of March is Friday. And 10 hours, 30 minutes, 15 seconds. This is how we can set date in date constructor function like this. Now, the main important thing is, I'll show you, go to browser. Here, type JavaScript date object MDN. MDN means Mozilla's documentation for JavaScript for CSS HTML. Now select this one, date object. Now this is a date object. Here is the important thing is, to calculate today's date, they actually use milliseconds, okay? They use milliseconds. From where? From Jan 1st, 1972. To figure out today's date, they will add milliseconds, okay? They will add milliseconds from this date to today. If they want for tomorrow's, they will add more milliseconds. That means what? Our future date, if we take in milliseconds, is higher value than our current date, right? But somehow they have managed to give like date, but these are all actually in milliseconds. Later they are converting in showing it as a date based on our location. Now my main point is this one, right? Our future date is higher milliseconds value than our current date because it is in the future, okay? So we need to take that difference. For that we have some methods. Now I'll create a variable remaining time. Here future date has higher milliseconds. We know that. We get date by milliseconds by using this get time method, okay? Minus current date dot get time, okay? Then we'll get some milliseconds, difference millions. We'll get milliseconds here in this remaining time. We'll print that one, remaining time. Let's see this one. Uncaught reference cannot assign to function call. Okay, I made a mistake. Where? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Here use minus symbol, this one, okay? Let's go and check. See, this is the difference between the current day, that means March 21st to 25th of March, okay? One more thing I want to tell you, I'll give you link in the descriptions to download the source code. You set your date, future date, okay? Current date is okay. It returns you the day, okay? Current day. But here you need to set your future date, whatever date you want to. And we are subtracting that from our current date. Then we'll get the difference in this remaining time in milliseconds, okay? We are printing that milliseconds. This is it. Okay, now the thing is, how many milliseconds, how many days are there in this remaining time, okay? We need to find out. For that, first we need to know how many milliseconds are there in a day. Then only we can divide it with this remaining time, okay? For that, here I'll write. Here I will create some variables. First thing to know, 1 second is equals to 1000 milliseconds. This is important. Now I'll create some variables. Now you see a day contains 24 hours, okay? And an hour contains 60 minutes. And a minute contains 60 seconds. And a second contains 1000 milliseconds. If we multiply all this, we know how many milliseconds are there in a day, and we are taking that inside this days in millisecond, day in milliseconds, okay? We will do that for hour, minute and second also. An hour contains 60 minutes. A minute contains 60 seconds. And a second contains 1000 milliseconds. Now for minute. A minute contains 60 seconds. A second contains 1000 milliseconds. Finally, second. This one is easy because we know second in millisecond. 1 second contains 1000 milliseconds. Okay, we need these variables. Now we'll check how many days are there in remaining time. For that, I'll create a variable let days equals to remaining time divided by day in milliseconds. Now if we divide, we will get how many days are there Okay, later we'll print that one. Let's go and check. See, we have 3 days plus some hours, minutes, seconds. We don't want this fractional part. For that, we know that we use math.floor. Okay, now let's go and check. See, 3 days are there. Now, the same way we'll get hours and minutes and seconds. For hours, I'll create another variable. Hours equals to, first, what we need, remaining time. Now this time we use percentage for getting reminder when we divide it with days in milliseconds. Okay, whatever comes, that part, that fractional part, we will divide it with hours in milliseconds. Okay, then we will get our result. That result will give again fractional, so I will use math.floor. Okay, that's it. Now we'll get our hours. After 3 days, how many hours are there? This is how we get. Save it. Let's go and check. See, 14 hours are there. Okay, now we need minutes and seconds. We'll create another variable, let minutes. Now what we'll do, instead of dividing with day in milliseconds, this time what we'll do, we will divide it with how many hours are there. So once we divide it, we take the remainder, then that is our minutes. Okay, instead of day in milliseconds, we are using now hours. We don't want how many days are there, we want how many hours are there. And once we got hours, we take the fractional part, that is our minutes. Okay, here remaining time, percentage, how many hours are there, hours in milliseconds. Okay, whatever the result, we take the remainder and we'll divide it with minute in milliseconds, then we'll get our minutes. Okay, we'll print this one here, we'll write. Okay, now we'll print minutes. That's it. Let's go and check. See, 2 minutes are there from current time to target time. Okay, finally we need seconds. We do the same thing. Let seconds equals to, first what we'll do, we don't want days, we don't want hours, we want how many minutes are there in total. After that there is a fractional part, that is our seconds. Okay, I'll use this one, math.floor. Now this time we are dividing with minutes, how many minutes are there total. Okay, remaining time, percentage, minute in milliseconds, whatever comes, here we need another brace, whatever comes, we divide it with second in milliseconds. Okay, that's it. I missed a brace here, this one. Yeah, that's it. Now bring this down, alt down arrow to bring this down. Okay, now print our seconds. Okay, now save it. Let's go and check. See, 59 minutes are there, seconds from now to target time. Refresh it, seconds will change. See, 48, 47, like this. Now go back to editor. We'll print this all seconds, minutes and hours, days. Okay, log days. minutes. Okay, all, we are printing all. I want to show you one thing. See, some are single digits. That means minutes may be, seconds may be single digits. But we don't want to show single digits here. Okay, if it is single digit, we want to add 0 in front of that digit. So for that, we don't need to see it again. Remove this one. We check each variable, that means days, hours, minutes, seconds. If it is single digit, we'll add 0 in front of it. For that, I'm using if days less than 10, then days element, this is paragraph, right? Days element start, text content equals to, these are backticks or template string. Okay, now add 0 in front of this expression. That expression is days. Okay, if it is less than 10, we are adding 0. Else days element dot text content equals to simply days. Okay, it is greater than 10. Like that for hours and minutes and seconds. We'll check if hours less than 10, hours element, that means our paragraph dot text content equals to template string, add 0, expression, put it inside these braces, that is hours. If not, if it is not less than 0, sorry, less than 10, we will add straight away hours element dot text content equals to hours, like that. Later for minutes and seconds as well, if minutes less than 10, then minutes element dot text content equals to backticks and 0 and expression. Else minutes element text content equals to minutes. Finally, for seconds, if less than 10, seconds element dot text content equals to backticks and 0 expression seconds. Else equals to seconds. That's it. Now let's go and check. We already added to our paragraphs here. Okay, if it is less than 10, we are adding in front of 0. Otherwise, straight away we are adding this value. Okay, let's go and check. See, we have 3 days, 13 hours, 56 minutes, 32 seconds. If we refresh this one, seconds will change. See, seconds will change. I'm refreshing this one. Now what we'll do, we'll put it inside a interval. Okay, this function, first we'll write here constant timer. Okay, timer equals to set interval is the method, and here first argument is our display timer, and interval time is 1000. This is in milliseconds. Okay, that means every second this method will be called by this set interval method. Okay, we take the reference of this set interval here. Later we need to stop this interval. Okay, save this one. Let's go and check. See, it's working now. Now we have our timer here. The final thing I want to do with this timer is we need to stop somewhere at some point. That means our current time reaches our future time. That means this is all our remaining time, right? We divide it for days, minutes, hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, that time our remaining time will be 0. Okay, at that time we need to stop this timer. Let's go to do that. Here I'll show you our timer where we are. here our remaining time. Okay, when our current time moves to this future time, then our remaining time is going to be 0. Okay, at that point we need to stop our timer. Here I'll write if remaining time equals to 0. Okay, then we need to stop our timer. For now, what I'll do, less than also I'll tell you why. Clear interval, okay, and pass your timer reference. Then it will stop that timer. Now, why did I put less than? Because I can't accurately pinpoint this future time with my current time. That's why I put less than also. Now, what we'll do, today is 21st of March. I'll make this one 20th, okay. Then this is less than our current time. Then this remaining time is in negative value, okay. To make it easy, that's why I put it here, okay, to show you. Okay, now let's go and check. See, we get some weird values. Now what we'll do, our timer will stop here. See, you can observe our timer will stop here. Now what we'll do, after this, we'll take all paragraphs, that means days element and text content equals to, now we put only zeros, 2 zeros for all this hours element dot text content minutes element dot text content equals to 00. Finally, seconds element dot text content equals to 00. Okay, now let's go and check. Okay, all zeros. This is how we show, we stop our timer, and this is how we stop. This is how we show to the user that the date expired. Okay, date expired. We'll write it here later. For now, we stop. When we stop the timer, this is how it looks. Okay, here I put less than because it's easy for us to reach the future time. Okay, now go back and put here 25th. Okay, then our timer will work again. See, this is how it works. Okay, one more thing, I'm recording this with the gaps, that's why you can see the change here, time change. Okay, now go back to editor. I think you might have understood that why I did this way, why I did put this less than also, to show you, because otherwise if I put equals to reach remaining time equals to 0, I need to exactly accurately find out the time and give, okay, to the current time to match the future time. Okay, that's why I did this. Now go back to browser. What else we need to do? We need to write here the future time, okay, with the weekday name and month name and date and year and hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, let's do that one. Go back to editor. We'll do that at the top here. Okay, here. Okay, title code. Here also I'll write title code. And now in order to get year, month and day, hour, minute, second from this future object is easy, but to get month name and weekday name is a bit of work. We'll do that one first. Okay, I'll write console here. Now take future object, future date object dot, we have a method called toLocale string, date string. Okay, if you don't provide any argument, it takes 2 arguments, both are optional. If you don't provide anything, it will return date in numbers based on your location. Okay, I'm in India, so I will get first day, later month, later year. Let's go and check this one. See, here you can see the day is 25th, okay, future date, and third month, and here year. Now we can provide a locale here. If I say EN US, then it will return day, month, year in US format. That is, month will come first, later day, later year. Okay. Now it has another argument. This toLocalDate string has another argument. Okay. This one we don't need it. I'm just showing you how this method works. Here first argument will put undefined. That means wherever you are, you will get that local date format. Okay. The second argument is an object and it has options. Okay. Now if you want to know the weekday name, use weekday, and long or short. Okay. Long means it will give complete week name. Let's try that one. See, that is Friday. Okay. This is Friday. Now you can see our weekday name is long. If I put short, then it is 2-3 characters. See, Friday. Okay. Now go back to editor. Here we'll use now what is the month. Okay. Long or short or options. Let's see. March. It is short. Then we'll use long. Save it and let's go and check. See, full month name. Now weekday name and month name is we access like this. Okay, with this toLocalDate string. Remaining are, that means year or day number or hours, minutes, seconds are bit easy. Okay. Now I'll remove this one. I'll create again variables for day and hour and minute and second. We can use these ones. Okay, we can use these ones, but how we are taking these ones, value we are dividing. That's how we are getting these values. But there are methods. We can use this future date object. We can use its methods. Okay, that way we'll take. Now this all goes to title string. So I'll give names like that. First we will access year. For that I'll create a variable year for title. Okay, it goes to title string. That's why I gave this name. Okay, future date dot get full year. That means 4 letters. Later, let month name for title. Okay, month name we need, not number, month name. Future date dot to local date string and pass undefined. Later create an object and here month and we need long. Okay, that's how we get month name. Later day. Okay, day, this is a number for title. Here we'll use future date dot get date. This will return the date, the number between 1 and 31. Okay. Later we need weekday name, weekday name. This one also we need to use future date dot toLocalDate string as I showed you before, and undefined first one. Later object and the weekday. Sorry, I made a mistake. toLocalDate string. This one is okay. toLocalDate string and first one is undefined and second is object weekday and in a long format. Now we got weekday name. Later we'll get hours, minutes and seconds. Let hours for title. Here future date dot get hours. Simple one this one is, and let future date dot get minutes, and finally we need seconds. Let seconds future date dot get seconds. We got all values we need for our title: year, month name, day number, weekday name, hours, minutes, seconds. Now where is our title? Here we accessed. You can see this is a paragraph. We gave name. See, this is a p tag. That means paragraph. We gave name title. Okay. Title dot text content. equals to, again this is backticks, okay, not single quotes. Here we'll write first string computer sales, this one is lowercase, sales ends on expression. We'll put expression like this. First is weekday name, okay, weekday name for title. Later I'll write in the second line. Let's write all in like this, okay, it is more readable. Later give a space, every space is counts here, okay, give space. Come to next line and day number. Now for that use and day for title. Later space, come to next line and here month name for title, okay. Later space, again expression. Now year for title, again space. Now here we need to put hours, minutes and seconds. Hours for title and here we have colon, not space. Again I'll write it here. Minutes for title, a colon and seconds for title. This one, okay. That's it. This is our title string. Let's go and check this one. See, computer sales ends on Friday 25th March 2022 at 10:30 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, that's how it looks. On bigger screens, this is how it looks. On smaller devices, this is how it looks. Okay, now the point is, when we reached this target time, that time we should show computer sales ended, not ends, ended on Friday 25th March. Okay, that's what we need to do. For that, take this string here, this one. Now copy this, and we know where to write this one, because when our remaining time is 0, that time we need this. Okay, when the remaining time is 0, that time we write this here. Here simply change ends to ended. Okay, now we can't check this one. Oh, we can check to give some negative value. Okay, as I told you why I am doing this way, I can't really pinpoint the minutes, seconds, all those things. For this one we need to match. Okay, instead of that, what I am doing, I am decreasing this days count. We are 21st, now I am giving 20. Now let's go and check what we'll see. See, computer sales ended on Sunday 20 March 2022. Okay, and here all zeros. Now finally go back to here 25th, and finally I want to tell you, I'll give source code link in the descriptions, but whenever you are watching this video, this one is okay, it will give you current time, but future time you need to fix for 5 days extra, 10 days, whatever your need is. And one more thing is, last thing, we need to give a user a ability to close this or this advertisement. Okay, we'll do that one. Now here I accessed this new sales section which contains all these things. Okay, later close button also. Now what we'll do, we'll write it here. After all, here close button dot add event listener, click, and here we'll take new sale section and put style dot display is a property equals to none. Now whenever we click on this button, this sale section, that is section, okay, I can show you here. This one, new sales section, which contains all this code, will be invisible. Okay, now save this one. Let's go. Now see, when I click, see, it disappeared. Reload the page and do whatever we want to. Now whenever user gets bored to see this one, he can able to close this advertisement. And let's see responsive design. Okay, that's it. That's it for today's video. I hope you like it. Please consider subscribing to my channel.